Hi, and thank you for joining us to learn more about HomeLab powered by LabFellows. We're the world's premier Deep Bio Accelerator. We work with startups who are commercializing high impact science to advance human life. We do that with a 16-week global accelerator program where you'll be learning the tips and tricks and insights from us, as well as our friends, successfully exited founders, and active investors. We're there to teach you the tips and tricks to successfully, efficiently, and effectively raise your financing round. And we use this with a proven playbook that's helped us build a portfolio now worth over $3.3 billion and produce 5x returns over the last 5 years. And that's because we get operationally involved with our founders to really help them be successful. Out of all of our stats and success metrics, my favorite is that we have 55% diverse founders across our portfolio. The reason we get out of bed is that many of us were founders ourselves. And now that we're on the other side of the table, we want to help others from every corner of the world leverage entrepreneurship to create generational wealth that changes the trajectory of their lives, their families, and their communities. I'm Julio De Namuno. I'm managing director here at HomeLab, and I've been leading it since inception. My background is as a biochemist by training. I was an in silico modeling and simulations guy too. After over a decade in industry, I donned the founder's cloth. I started my own VC-backed company, raising millions across the tech and biotech clusters in Silicon Valley, San Diego, Los Angeles, New York, Boston. I successfully scaled the VC-backed startup to $5 million in annual recurring revenues before becoming profitable. And now I sit on the other side of the table. I don't syndicate deals, but I work with friends to co-invest in some of the top emerging startups from around the world. Now, over the past several years, I've added on to the team. I'm excited to introduce you to Alex Fry. Alex actually started two teams out of HomeLab before joining the staff. He started sticking around as a mentor and eventually started to help with sponsorships. And last year, I tapped him to help our expansion into Europe. Alex, why don't you share how excited we are about what's going on out there?
Thank you for that great introduction, Julio. I grew up and spent much of my career in Switzerland, so I've seen the European ecosystem from the inside. The science, especially in deep bio, is world class. And early on, things actually work quite well. Startups are able to raise pre-seed capital and get off the ground with grants. But where things start to break down is at the growth stage. That transition from early validation to scaling and from local capital to global capital is where many companies struggle. And it's not a lack of innovation. It's a gap in how companies position themselves, build momentum, and align with how larger investors evaluate opportunities in the United States. And since January, we've been working with founders across Europe, and what's clear is that there's a strong demand for more execution-driven approach and better access to US capital. So the focus is on helping founders turn their breakthrough science into fundable and scalable companies. Ultimately, it's about creating a pathway for European deep bio companies, not just to start, but actually scale globally.
Thanks, Alex. Similar to Alex, Natasha Castral joined us as a VC in residence, and over the last year has helped to mentor our teams. In this cohort, I'm excited to announce that she is now head of acceleration for Asia. Natasha, can you share what our conviction is for everything going on in the Asian market?
Thank you, Julio. What an exciting time to be building in life sciences globally, right? At HomeLab, we've been leading into Asia strategically for quite some time now. We've built strong working relationships, one of the examples being our collaboration with Kyoto University in Japan, where we helped startups building in life sciences across longevity, AI in drug discovery, or quantum in bio. We've seen what's possible when the right founders are supported early. One of our Indian teams, Equilium, went from zero to an IPO alongside a leading Indian CRO. AI in drug discovery in Asia is expected to scale from $3 billion today to over $40 billion over the next decade, with Asia Pacific leading growth. And when you zoom out, to AI across life sciences, we are looking at a market from roughly $4 to $5 billion today to over $20 billion over the next decade. This is a pivotal time for startups to get the right fundraising support and to navigate scaling, whether it's from 0 to 1 or 1 to 10. And we're looking forward to seeing more startups from Asia in our next cohort.
Fantastic. And I'm excited this cohort to be spearheading our expansion into the Americas, across the TAM. I'm fresh off a trip in Mexico and I've been surprised and impressed by the quality of founders out there. For example, in the US, we talk about pharmacies as potentially being the gateway to community health, a primary care opportunity around every corner. And in Mexico, that's actually true. Pharmacists are allowed to not only prescribe drugs, but even do common basic lab tests. This means that we see founders in LatAm who have actual traction with clinics, sometimes dozens, even hundreds. We focus in three verticals: passionate about longevity, AI, and quantum bio. Longevity's come a long way. What was traditionally a wellness vertical now is scientific and evidence based. We have biomarkers that are now allowing us to understand the mechanics of aging, to potentially reverse it, as well as tackle age related diseases. Longevity is a big tent, and it also includes some of the traditional players, such as regenerative medicine and oncology. We're also excited, of course, about AI, which has just been disrupting the world. Whether it's drug discovery or biomanufacturing, the application of AI has had tremendous impact on helping take drugs from lab to market. And quantum bio has produced some amazing technologies, brain computer interfaces. We love it. We also have seen unique applications such as disease diagnostics for astronauts in space. We're looking at founders from every stage. We have two different tracks we've set up. We have our foundry track for teams who are raising between $0 to $2 million. Typically is the pre-seed seed stage, but it may be a little later if you're from outside the US. And we have our reactor track for the growth stage companies who are raising their Series A or B. So what can you expect over those 16 weeks is an intense focus on execution. This isn't theory or academics. We're out there hustling and helping you raise this round. We do that with a remote first format and a weekly cadence where we have capital closing calls. We're teaching you how to work the investor funnel. We have group sessions where we are talking about the lessons learned and how to utilize and implement it and any of the obstacles getting in your way to successfully utilize our coaching. We also have talks with experts and investor guest speakers along the way. As we are helping you with your fundraising, we're providing you a community with peer support, as well as what we call our founder stack. These are tools and technologies like our learning management system, as well as our scientific research tools and market research tools. So if you're looking for access to academic, peer reviewed scientific literature, or trying to do market research, things like PitchBook, you'll have access to through the program. Cap table management tools to help you simulate and model the round that you're working on, as well as if you have limited access to infrastructure like lab and office space, we have partners for that no matter where you are. In addition to that is our secret sauce, which we call our HomeLab Advantage. That's our investor network. Over 43% of top graduates from our program raise from that investor network, which is made up of active angels, high net worth individuals, family offices, new and emerging fund managers, growth stage VCs, and CVCs. As I said before, we've had amazing success with our portfolio companies where we've helped them build venture scale businesses, and many of them have exited with M&As or IPOs. So what can you expect over the next 16 weeks? Well, first, we spend a little bit of time validating your foundation, making sure you truly understand your customer target segment and that your value proposition aligns with their problems and the technology you're building. Then we spend the bulk of our time in the trenches, actively helping you create and manage your investor funnel. Going out, you're having meetings, we're there to be a sounding board to help you strategize to effectively and efficiently close your next round of funding. By the end of the program, we cap it off with our Innovation Summit, which is a fun time where we get together with a lot of our investor friends, your cohort, and some of our alumni to help you successfully continue to navigate and close those rounds. Head to homelab.com where you'll see a apply button, click it, and fill out the application. Thank you for learning more about the HomeLab Accelerator program, and we hope to see your application in soon.